that one? Everyone? 27.1.5, we carried out an assessment of the risks facing this authority and took appropriate steps to manage those risks, including the introduction of internal controls and/or external insurance cover where required. We approved that a couple of months ago, I think, a month ago or two. So, you've got a proposer for that one then? Ian? Nathan, the seconder? And those in favour of approving it? That's everyone. 27.1.6, we maintain throughout the year an adequate and effective system of internal audit of the accounting records and control systems. Proposer for that one? Nathan and seconder Amanda. And those in favour? 27.1.7, we took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from internal and external audit. I did actually have a question on this one. Just that last year it mentioned about bank accounts.
Sorry, did I hear that?
Last year it did mention about setting up different bank accounts.
Yeah, he was happy to roll it into this year because it's best practice.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So it would, okay.
That's what, yeah, that's what he
Yeah, okay. No, that's what, it was just, I was aware we had it last year and we hadn't done it. So if it's, so it's covered by this year.
Yeah,
so
it was only a recommendation,
yeah.
It wasn't a red flag.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's fine then, yeah. Okay, so the proposer, Lynn, the seconder, Stephen. And those in favour? Everyone? 27.1.8, we considered whether any litigation, liabilities or commitments, events or transactions occurred either during or after the year end, occurring either during or after the year end, have a financial impact on this authority and where appropriate have included them in the accounting statements. I think we considered it, we haven't considered that there were any, but can I have a proposal for that one then? Ian, Nathan, seconder. And those in favour? Sorry. It's conflict, isn't it? Yeah. And that's everyone in favour. Yeah, thank you. And 27.1.9 for local councils only. I'll read it out just for clarity. Trust funds, including charitable. In our capacity as the sole managing trustee, we discharged our accountability responsibilities for the funds stroke assets, including financial reporting and, if required, independent examination or audit. Well, we aren't that,
Yes.
so it's not applicable.
That's right, that's
Do we need to vote on that?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll accept that's not applicable.
Yeah, sorry.
Proposer and a seconder.
Just to be safe, yeah.
Sean and Nathan.
Yeah.
And all in favour. Everyone is in favour. Everyone. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I just need to go back in now, Chair. So,
Right.
Need to drink then.
so I'll fill this out, Chair, just so you know. So I'll put the date in and I'll put the meeting minute in and I just literally put the signature there. Thank you. Yeah, just double check that we've done everything on that we need to. Yeah, we've put it moving forward.
Yeah. So 27.2, which is the same staple bit together. To consider for approval Section 1 of the Annual Governance and Accountability Return, AGAR, Annual Governance Statement for the year 2024-25, in line with the Council's response to each assertion under 27.1. So all of the ones we just approved.
Yes, we have to do an overall vote now.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need a proposer.
We propose a second that, and overall vote that all of that's just been approved.
Right, I think Sean was first and Ian second. And so, votes in favour of approving what we've just approved?
Yes, please. Do you love my job right now?
That's everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. 27.3, which is the second page of that little bit, to consider for approval the AGAR account statements for 2024, Section 2, provided by the responsible financial officer.
Which is me in this
Yeah.
now. Yeah, and I have included, just if you've not got a page for the completed figures, the realtors report. So I don't send the realtors report, that is just for you guys to confirm the figures that are written in.
So that's basically the figures that
I'll transfer those there. Previously, before me, council received the blue page, but I just think it's helpful to have the realtors copy as well.
Yeah. Can I ask a question on this one?
Trying to answer it here and now, yes.
Yeah, I suppose the only thing was that it follows on from that question I asked about the earmarked reserves, because we haven't actually seen or approved the F&GP, haven't done that.
Yes.
Are we all right approving this when it's kind of backwards and we have an F&GP and the council haven't seen the year here?
We are, because the auditor does the year end.
Right.
So it's the auditor's report that you had at the agenda item, I can't remember what else. You can just find it.
Yeah.
So the auditor you have to complete financial year end for the auditor to complete their year end, and that's what these reports are.
So the auditor's happy with this?
They've checked year end,
Yeah, okay.
the auditor receives a copy of that and has to balance and check it before it comes to council,
Yeah.
but it is backwards in its process.
Yeah. That was a good question I had. In terms
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
just
So,
technically a formality that year end comes to council.
Right.
To committee, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Anybody else got any comments or questions in relation to that?
Just one tiny one about the fixed assets. How can we set up the same?
Because the equipment falls into this financial year and not the previous financial year. It's just literally a date timing, so it will change again this year, and especially with the exercise equipment as well.
Okay, didn't we agree to revaluing anyway?
Yeah.
For next year? Okay, so can I have a proposer for those? Lynn, and a seconder? Nathan? And those in favour of approving those statements? Everyone?
So again, I just need to sign some paper, I can just take a short break. That's
Yeah.
So it's the paper copy that you've had in your packet already. So I just need some to check it and see what that on there, please. Sorry. Thank you.
That's right, for some approving officials.
Yeah, and then the goods to move to 25.
Okay, so 27.4, to consider the date of the public rights of inspection as presented, starting from the 10th of June 2025 to the 21st of July 2025, which includes the first 10 working days of July 2025. So effectively starting tomorrow and until 21st of July. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So this is the responsibility of the RFO to set. So previous years we've just set it, but again, just being completely transparent with everything. That's why I brought it to council this year, to say this is what it looks like, this is what it will be. It follows all the rules in terms of the period and the 10 working days of July. And that will go up this evening after the meeting if approved.
Can I just ask where that goes? Is it
just in the notice board at the front,
right?
on this building only.
Yeah. Okay.
And on the website.
Right. Okay. We all okay with those then? Any proposer for that? Ian, and seconder Stephen. And those in favour? Do we need to just note that Nathan's left for a minute?
It's fine. It's majority. We don't record the actual votes.
Right. Thanks everyone. That's think, isn't it? That? 26 and 27. So thank you. That's what everybody else wants to do tonight. So item 28, to note the current Ackworth Parish Council standing orders to remain as standing due to an ongoing review of the newly released NALC 2025 standing orders. This item will be available to Council for review in line with the next scheduled meeting on Monday the 14th of July 2025.
Yeah.
I think we raised that last month anyway, didn't we?
We did. It was being reviewed last month, but I've just not had a chance to finish it. So it'll definitely be on for July.
So we're just noting that anyway today.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good. And 29, to consider for approval free room hire at Bell Lane to host a free community event regarding advice on financial planning. So it's we've got the details there in the pack of this organisation that want to run that and what they're offering for it. So, anybody got any comments or questions in relation to that, Nathan?
Well, back we let them have it. It's similar to, I mean, it wasn't a room, was it, because it couldn't fit in, but we allowed the coach, was Yorkshire Holidays, to come and pack the coach, and it was sort of a free event at the time. Yes, they made money from it afterwards, which sounds like what this might be, free information event, but really more of a promotion event. We've done it before, so let's both got grounds to say yes to one and no to another.
I'm just not so sure, because if we have other financial planning businesses in the village, would they not be a little bit potentially put out that we were letting them post something for free, and it makes it look like we're supporting this company? I don't know anything about them. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Susie?
Well, I feel that they're marketing their business, and therefore it shouldn't be free, but they're selling products, and if we're going to invite one business to do that, then we should have a financial planning event that is free to all financial planners in the area.
Okay. Before I seek a proposal, I think that was my thought on it was that it's a commercial organisation, and having run a commercial organisation for 27 years myself of mine, I wouldn't expect to be able to do something like that for free, and I wouldn't give my time to do that without charge to anybody, without expecting to get something back, which in other words would be, for this case, selling some financial services. I understand your point and everything, but you potentially be agreeing it absolutely. I think we kind of thought for the coach people it was just an attraction as well as other things.
I think they might have paid for the room.
I'm not sure. I
think it might have been paid for that.
Right.
Yeah, and there is an option, Chair, where these could just be charged room hire, and if they go ahead, they go ahead. My personal thought was that it should be, if they want to use it, hire a room at a time that they can hire a room, absolutely no issue. Then?
I think the way we watch is to use the routes, like, if we say this is for free, it sounds like this specific things, what we support. We don't know what might, don't know how pushy they are, so I think it's just
okay. Shall we?
I just feel, who's going to know it's free, and is it really going to come up? Is it really a thing that we need to be that worried about? And getting some free advice for our residents might not be a bad thing for foregoing a few quid in room fees. I don't know. It just, I get the point about you don't try and promote one company over another. But
as far as I know, as Amanda said, there's at least one in the 6 shops. I think offer financial advice. I bet there's a few.
Quite a
few independent financial advisors in the village, I should imagine.
Sure. Just propose that we charge him for a room.
Yeah. Can we have a seconder for that then? Yeah. So proposal is we propose that they can use a room at standard normal use rates. Yeah. Okay, those in favour of that proposal then? Abstentions? Against? Right, thank you. And so, item 30, to consider for inclusion to the Parish Council's scheme of delegation policy, approval for the clerk to offer free room hire where deemed appropriate and for delegated authority on submitting eligible funding applications.
Yeah, so I'll give a quick explanation, if that's okay. When this free room hire come up, I realised that actually there's no delegated authority for anybody. So if it was a charity or whether it was one of our regular users, there isn't any delegated authority to make any choice, which is why that had to go on the agenda. I understand what Council just said about this particular one. And I also noticed that the current scheme delegation, it hadn't included the funding authority that had previously been granted by Council, so I do just need to add that back in as a line. But it has to come through Council, so I thought it would be easy to group them together with the Council. You can separate them out, take a vote.
My initial thought when I read that was that it's two separate things.
Yeah,
and
you
we
can
ought
take
to
it
look at it as
separately.
two separate ones, if that's okay with people. So if we look initially at the free room hire, I'll give my thoughts first this time. That I think, based on what we've just said on 29, that we maybe ought to have. Personally, I have no problem with delegating, but we need to know what is free, what's not. So I think we just need to agree what we will give free rooms for and what would be chargeable in terms of that. And my own thought was, if it's an organisation from which people make part of a living, then we ought to be charging them for it. But if it is a not-for-profit organisation, where all the money that they might make from running the event or whatever is reinvested in what they do, and I will declare a bit of an interest. I was thinking of something like the Heritage Group and groups like that, who nobody takes any money out, it's all there so that they can promote do more of what they're trying to do. But any group like that, I would have thought that's okay for them to have it free, potentially. But anybody that makes money, we should be charging the normal rate. But what comment and thoughts from anybody, Nathan?
I think you're not for profit, definitely, but I think also something about it being a one-off, because the brownies and the rainbows, the leaders, I mean, but the charity even itself, I suppose they are charities, aren't the brownies and the guys?
Yeah.
But it's recurring, so we can't keep it free every time. If it's
Yeah,
not for profit, then
a once a year enrolment.
yeah, something like that.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Susan?
Do we need a set of criteria?
I personally think we do. Yeah, I think so. Ian?
So just a more general point, I mean, you're talking about free room hire. Do we want to expand this to reduced rate room hire as well?
We don't currently offer any reduced rate room, but that could be an option.
Susan?
Because do we not have a business rate and a community rate?
We do, what I mean, Sally, is we don't reduce any of the current rates. Yeah, there's
But
two
they're
separate rates. Yeah, one is community, one is commercial. Yeah. So I suppose when I'm writing this, it's not to make any decisions on anything that would be a commercial. It's more the community stuff, and it's exactly what you guys have been talking about. If the Browns were stuck and needed a room, but they couldn't afford it, I couldn't authorise it. I would have to wait for a council meeting. And it can be something that's brought back to the next meeting. There's no urgency for it. You could write a criteria and bring it back to July.
I'm just wondering if it's worth. Do we need to delegate it to somebody to write some criteria?
You can do that. You can. If there's a
Is there another option of just like delegating a certain amount of funds that we can delegate to the clerk to make a decision, which then comes back to the next council meeting for review? I don't know.
I just wondered how that could work. What do you think about that one? That's Nathan.
Could it go to the communities to draw up some criteria?
Yeah.
Because I think
I was just wondering that. Yeah. We delegate because we've got an amenities meeting. So if we can delegate it to amenities to go up with criteria, that we can then discuss Do you want to propose that one?
Yeah.
And I'll second that.
So defer room hire delegation.
Yeah. For a set of criteria to be created by village amenities.
Who was your second as well, Chair?
I'll do that. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be me it's delegated, it could be, for example,
Well, to the office too.
delegation to village amenities.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can go to councillors, it
Yeah.
can't go to an individual councillor.
I think my thought would be if we've got a set of rules, that we, you know, anybody that, you know, if you were off, somebody else in the office can approve it.
So you are deferring that item to village amenities, that's first section.
Yeah.
And then the second section, Chair, is the funding applications that I already
Yeah.
tried for anyway. It's just to reinstate that
I
basically.
don't see any issue at all. Yeah, because they did do it quickly, so
That's why I did have I do have it, it's just not in
Yeah.
writing currently.
So
So that would be proposed secondary again, just to
yeah,
add it back
okay.
to this.
Proposal for Lynn and Sean. We'll vote for those two separately.
That's how I do
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Okay. So if we can take a vote in favour of the room hire delegation.
Sorry, you've done that already, Chair.
Did we do that
It was
one?
just
Oh,
a
okay.
vote.
Sorry, yeah. A vote in favour of the delegating funding applications.
Funding,
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
It all would have made it easy if that was to write on Savage.
That's all right. We've sorted it. Item 31, to receive an update on Low Ackworth playing fields lease.
Yeah.
Do you know something, Joe?
Yeah. I don't, unfortunately, Chair. This is more so just keeping it live on the agenda and letting